Quick look today at 22 top franchise business ideas that you've probably never heard of. Before we begin, quick public service announcement. This is Ted. Ted lives in Anchorage, Alaska. He's an accountant. He has $2 million to invest, had previous management and hiring experience, and he hates selling things and talking to people. Ted is an introvert. This is Nancy. Nancy lives in Dallas, Texas, has about $50,000 to invest, is very money motivated, and has been in corporate sales for 10 years. Now, it should be obvious the best franchise idea for Nancy is the worst franchise idea for Ted, and vice versa. So our eternal disclaimer, we always say on the channel, the same franchise can be bad or good depending on your situation. Aligning your franchise choice to your local market demand, your skills, your operational preferences, all those things should be your main goal. So the following franchise ideas are general in nature and may or may not be a good fit for you. Let's look at some brands. So you're similar to Nancy. You've got a lower budget, but you're very ambitious and money motivated. You're also living in an economically vibrant city, like Nancy in Dallas, which is driven by key sectors like finance, tech, health and transportation, etc. Now, in this case, we would typically suggest what we call a sales-driven franchise option. Lots of great franchise ideas in that space. Number one, a business broker franchise. It's a low investment, very high potential profit option where a single deal can reach $250,000 or more. This industry has made many multi-millionaires. Now, we actually covered business brokering franchises in great detail recently in our very unpopular most profitable franchise series. I'll place the link for that above if you're interested. But business brokering is a franchise where you sell businesses and receive a fee, a commission, once that business sells. Now, it's exactly like a real estate sells houses, but the commissions are even higher, more than double. Now, it takes a very unique personality to be a business broker. It can be very frustrating at times, like anything else really, but if you can do it and you can do it well, you can make a lot of money. Total startup costs, you need around $60,000 all in, plus some money set aside because it can take some time to close your first deal and fill your pipeline. Other real estate-based franchise ideas that are suitable for a Nancy type include number two, HomeVestors, and you probably know them as the We Buy Ugly Houses brand. They spend around $50 million a year advertising for their franchisees. And with HomeVestors, you buy distressed properties and you either flip them or rent them out. Many franchise owners have built empires within that system. Your startup required around $100,000 and up depending on your local market. Now, a few other options within this low-cost space are number three, commercial cleaning master franchise. In these situations, you are selling cleaning contracts to locals who are looking to start a small side business. Top producers in that industry generate well into the millions per year. Number four, cost recovery franchise. We've covered it before in the channel. You help businesses save money in various cost centers. I've actually owned one of these franchises myself. Very, very sales-oriented business, but again, a low startup around $70,000. And instead of charging companies money up front, you actually share in the savings that you find for the company. So if you save a company $100,000 over a 3-year period, you retain $50,000 for yourself. Great business for sales reps with an existing book of business, and it does have recurring revenue over years. Now, there's also franchise options that are still sales driven, but not quite as sales driven. Number 5 and 6, cleaning and painting franchises are good examples. Now, you're still interacting with the public, unless of course you hire a rep, which can be challenging out of the gate, but you're only doing a few estimates a day. You're not hammering away on the phone. Most of the leads come through the internet. Now, it's a bit more laid back from a sales perspective, but you're also managing teams of painters or cleaners. Now, for Nancy, she doesn't want to manage people, so not a great option for her. Now, for someone who is fine managing people, there are also things like number 7, disaster recovery. Many very high earners in those industries. Property management, is another great option we've covered on the channel before. Staffing franchises, some of these which average over $5 million a year for established offices, very sales-driven business. Number 10, flooring, great industry. 11, blinds. Number 12, construction and renovation. And number 13 is senior care. We've covered it a lot on the channel as well. It's a huge growth segment. And all of these brands cost significantly less than a restaurant, from around $100,000 total startup costs, and can potentially generate even more money than some of those restaurants. But let's say you are more like Ted. Ted likes managing people, but he's not so sales oriented. He does have a higher budget though, and is okay if his franchise takes a little bit of time to ramp up. So a restaurant is generally the first thought that most franchise buyers have: McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, whatever. And these can be profitable, but they also cost over $1 million to open, and food in most cities has become hyper competitive. Most premium territories have been sold long ago. Now, beyond food, there are other retail options where people walk in and buy your stuff. You don't have to be super motivated all the time. They're lower cost and less competitive than food. And many of these at the beginning of the growth curve, like buying a McDonald's 40 years ago, so you can still get premium territories. Now, an interesting niche we've been watching is number 14, electronics resale franchises. There's over $1 trillion of unused tech sitting in people's homes around the USA. And these franchises capitalize on buying and selling phones, tech gadgets, computers, and gaming systems. Low staffing costs, average revenues over $1 million, and we've actually seen many experienced franchise owners from other systems investing in multiple units in this space, and it's expected to grow exponentially over the coming years. Total startup costs for something like that around $130,000 to $350,000. Now, depending on his local market, Ted could also consider owning a number 15 gym or health facility. Now, niche markets like a yoga studio, they have less startup and equipment costs, or a standard gym, for example, an Anytime Fitness franchise, most of you are familiar with that, cost ranges between $458,000 to $907,000. Number 16, massage therapy franchises. They've also been very successful in many markets. They're a similar investment to your gyms, around the $400,000 range. Another one, if you dig cars, number 17, automotive franchises can be an option. Give you an example of some costs. An Amco franchise, a name everyone's familiar with, costs you between $263,000 and $400,000. Maaco franchise, better call Maaco, $281,000 to $495,000. Number 18, oil change franchises. They're around the same investment amount. And automotive aftermarket services like tinting, audio, wheels, and tires, they can be an option as well. Some of these have gross margins over 78%, with average EBITDA at $400,000. Pretty impressive with a franchise whose investment is around $250,000. Now, if you're absolutely stuck on food, there are some options in the food space that cost less than the legacy brands. Number 19, smaller donut, smoothie, or coffee shops, for example. These started around $200,000 for a small footprint. But just be aware, be cautious. There are many in this space that we'll just say do not have impressive earnings. And please, do not let your emotions take over with that coffee shop dream that so many people seem to get. Always look at the numbers and remain focused on the data. There's also fun new concepts out there that we've been watching. Number 20, laser combat, laser tag franchises. Number 21, axe throwing. I thought it was crazy, but when you take a look at it, it does make sense, and some of these places are doing significant numbers. Number 22, escape rooms. Those are also very popular in some areas. Investment around $200,000 and up for that. Again, depending on your situation, any of these brands could be good or bad. But just call us. Costs you nothing. We're going to help you sift through hundreds of franchise ideas to find the best one for you. I'll place that link up above to our website. If you're still learning, Feel free to check out our franchise educational playlist, hundreds of videos available. That's down below. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.